So you have a Sony ZV-E10 Mark II, very exciting, and you're ready to set it up for streaming. I'll guide you through the process of setting up your camera specifically for live streaming. No, not that. Live streaming just means giving your camera the capabilities of being used kind of like a webcam, and using it for things like Zoom calls, sales calls, webinars, in-browser recording, streaming, and more. Because in my business, I have helped so many entrepreneurs and professionals set up their cameras for streaming. I'm going to be showing you how to use the Elgato Camlink 4K to turn the HDMI signal that comes from your camera into something your computer can recognize, a lot like a webcam. First things first, let's select movie recording mode with the slide selector that's on top of the ZV-E10 Mark II. Oh, and fun fact, the Mark II has a new power on location since the last model. Now, let's ensure that your viewers get a clean and polished experience. We're going to eliminate all of those pesky menu items from your display. But before we dive into the menu, I've got a pro tip. Once inside the menu, press on the outside of the selection dial to move around the menu. Up, down, left, right, and press the center button of the selection dial to make a selection. If you ever feel like you get stuck or lost, press left several times on the selection dial to back out of any current submenu page that you are in. Also, you can press the menu button several times to back out of the menu altogether and start over. Okay, now access the main menu by pressing the menu button on the back of your camera. We're going to select the 7th or bottom menu tab that looks a lot like a little yellow toolbox, which is called Setup, and press right one time to enter that menu. Now press down until you get to the submenu number 12 titled External Output, and press right again to enter that menu. Now navigate down and highlight HDMI Info Display. Press that center select button to select HDMI Info Display, and then navigate to HDMI Info Display Off. And now select it with the center select button. Boom, you have a clean HDMI output without any of those pesky menu distractions for your viewers to have to look at. Back in the main menu, move down to the third menu tab called Shooting. Press right to enter the Shooting menu, and go down to submenu number 4, Shooting Mode. Press right to go inside of the Shooting Mode menu. Now press down and highlight Shoot Mode. Press the center select button to enter Shoot Mode. Press down through the menu until you reach Manual Exposure. Now center select Manual Exposure for better control over your stream's quality. This does open up a lot of options, and it can feel a little bit scary to not be running in automatic mode. But worst case scenario, you can always come back to the Shoot Mode and choose P for Program Auto Mode, and you'll be right back to where you started when the camera came out of the box. Next, let's go back to the main menu and move to the Shooting tab once again. Press right to enter and then highlight submenu tab 1, which is Image Quality Rec. Press right and highlight the first selection, which is File Format. Press the center select button to enter the file format submenu. Go down and highlight XAVC SHD and hit the center select button to choose that setting. Now back in the Image Quality Rec submenu, drop down one spot to Movie Settings and press right to enter. Center select Rec Frame Rate and choose 30p, which stands for 30 frames per second. Frame rates are often subjective, but 30 frames per second is a standard for streaming and recording. Alright, the good news is that's it for the main menu settings, but I want to quickly share two settings that I always want control over, and those are ISO and color temperature. Eventually this comes down to taste and subjectivity, but I want to give you a good starting point for things to look as natural as possible. First, let's set our ISO, which stands for International Organization for Standardization. Now you know why we just call it ISO. Look at your selection dial and you will notice that ISO is written right there on the camera body. If you press right on the selection dial, it'll bring up the ISO menu on the screen. The default is auto, and we don't want that. Auto means if anything changes in your lighting, like filming at different times of the day, the digital brightness or ISO will change to compensate, which will change the look of your entire shot. Instead, navigate down to ISO 800 as a starting point, and then check your shot. This is a setting that you will have to set to your taste. Remember, you just want to look as natural as possible. Next, color temperature. On the back of the camera, hit the FN button, which stands for Function. This opens up an on-screen view of many of the most crucial menu items. Let's navigate to White Balance and hit the center select button so you can choose your color temperature settings. Generally, out of the box, your camera is set to AWB, which stands for Auto White Balance, and we don't want that. With AWB on, any change in lighting, like the sun going behind some clouds, will trigger the white balance to compensate for the change, and your shot will look different as it changes. And the real-time change is noticeable. Now navigate down through a long list of options until you reach the C.temp/filter setting and press right on the selection dial. Now your color temperature will be highlighted. Press up or down until you reach 5600K, which falls in a zone that we call daylight, and press the center select button. Now your color temperature won't change even if your lighting does. Fun fact, K stands for Kelvin, which references the Kelvin temperature chart named after famous physicist William Thomson, who was later knighted to Lord Kelvin by Queen Victoria in 1866. Here is a Kelvin temperature chart. So you can see how the temperature of light changes as you move from left to right and the Kelvin number gets higher. You can also start to see why sometimes when we talk about the temperature of light, we're actually talking about the color that it gives off. On the left of the chart, we have more of the oranges and yellows, and on the right of the chart, we have more of the blues and whites. This information might even come in handy the next time you're trying to pick out light bulbs from your local hardware store. All right, let's get to the good stuff and talk about how to stream your Sony ZV-E10 Mark II. It's time to capture that beautiful outgoing HDMI signal and share it with the world. That's where the Elgato Camlink 4K comes into the picture. This handy little capture card turns that HDMI signal into something your computer can see and then send to any video capture or streaming software, just like a webcam does. This process is pretty simple, and although it varies slightly from camera to camera, the principles remain the same. In the case of the ZV-E10 Mark II, we want an HDMI micro to HDMI cable adapter. This allows us to plug the small end into the body of the camera and to plug the full-size end into the Elgato Camlink 4K. Now that clean HDMI signal that we work so hard for can be used for recording videos, video conference calls, streaming, running webinars, recording video modules for your course, you name it. I often get asked, hey Dan, why don't you use the USB streaming feature to come out of the camera with a USB cable instead of HDMI? And it's a very simple answer. When you go HDMI to something like a Camlink 4K capture card, you get the highest quality possible coming out of your camera. And I don't want to settle for less. Now that you have your HDMI micro to HDMI cable plugged into the camera and into the Camlink 4K, you can plug the USB end of the Camlink directly into your computer. Don't use any dongles or hubs or adapters. Your Camlink needs to connect directly to your computer. Now, just like a webcam, anywhere that gives you a camera selection, like let's say in a Zoom call, will show your Camlink 4K as a camera selection option that you can choose from instead of your mediocre webcam. Now this is the fun part, where on your next Zoom call, people are going to start asking, how do you look so good? What camera is that you're using? Now that you know how to go live with your Sony ZV-E10 Mark II, watch this video on 10 camera presence tricks that big YouTubers use to look confident.